Hey everyone, my name is Phil,
I'm Erika.
and today we're watching a recap of Stranger Things seasons 1 to 4. Let's dive in. Okay, so Stranger Things season 5, the final season, is coming at the end of this year, so in November, December, and yeah, at the end of December as well. Um, I, it's been years since season 4 wrapped up.
Really?
Yeah, it's been
I
a
didn't
long,
realize.
long time. And
Years? When was it?
it's been years, yeah.
When was it?
Like
Two must be.
maybe a bit more than 2, yeah.
What?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's just been a really long time, and it's
I
like
just feel like it's 5 years.
it's gone to a point where people are like, do people still care about the show? Like, but like that's kind of been their thing. Like they've taken a long time in between seasons, and yeah, it's just that is what it is now. So the kids are a lot older, and I feel like every time we watch this, they've like grown so much, but no time has passed in the show.
Oh, really?
Right, because like, yeah,
I
I'm
can't
like,
remember, to be honest.
yeah, I know. Well, that's kind of why we're doing this. But
Yeah.
Erica and I, we've watched seasons 1 to 4 before we started this channel. Literally, we finished season 4 like right before we started this channel. So it has
been a while.
yeah, it has been a
Wow.
while. I remember like when the channel started getting some traction, I was like, oh, it's too bad that we didn't get to watch Stranger Things on this because it would have been good. But Stranger
We're
Things
here
5
now.
is here. So just to get us refreshed on what happened and where we are and all that jazz, we're gonna watch a recap from Man of Recaps, and yeah, just kind of go from there. And then this will hopefully get us prepared for the binge watching that we'll be doing over the holiday season. It's perfect for the holidays, I guess. Okay, cool. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Man of Recaps. This is Stranger Things, full series recap before the final season. It's the
awesome.
80s in the small town of Hawkins, Indiana. We follow a group of adorkable nerds, Mike, Dustin, Lucas, and Will, playing Dungeons and Dragons.
So tiny.
Tonight they fight their biggest monster yet. It's the Demogorgon. But that night, Will Byers encounters a monster of his own and disappears without a trace. So it's a missing child case, as his mom, Joyce Byers, is worried about him and enlists the help from the chief of police, Jim Hopper. As the search comes up
Red
empty,
Guardian.
Will's friends decide to go looking themselves. And they find not Will, but a mysterious buzzcut girl. She doesn't say much because she's never socialized before. In fact, she doesn't even have a name, just her number 11. She's from a secret government science lab because she has psychic powers. Now the lab is hunting for her, led by Dr. Brenner, who treated 11 not like a kid, but a science experiment. Though he has some messed up paternal feelings for her, has her call him Papa. Mike hides 11 in his basement, E.T. style. He feeds her Eggo
E.T. style,
waffles,
so
which
true.
quickly become her new obsession. 11 wants to help them find Will by using her psychic powers. She sees him in a dark, scary place, and 11 knows where this is. In the lab, they did experiments to push the limits of her psychic vision. And yesterday, she went too far, saw into another dimension with a scary monster. She accidentally opened a portal, and in the chaos, she managed to escape. 11 explains by flipping their D&D board over, so they call this dark dimension the Upside Down. And they name the monster the Demogorgon. Will's older brother, Jonathan Byers, is looking for him, and he has a crush on Mike's older sister, Nancy Wheeler. But she just started dating the coolest kid in school, Steve the Hare Harrington. That night she goes to Steve's house, where her friend Barb is chaperoning. As Nancy and Steve are hooking up, Barb's alone out by the pool when, oh, the Demogorgon grabs her. Jonathan was taking pictures nearby for totally normal, not stalker reasons, and so he managed to catch the Demogorgon on film. In the Byers' home, the lights have been going crazy, and Joyce begins to think it's Will trying to talk to her. So she pulls out the Christmas lights and hangs them all around.
This looks
then
so
she paints
cool.
the alphabet on the wall,
Iconic.
and it works. Will is talking to her. Of course, it doesn't work when she tries to show Hopper, so Joyce looks completely crazy. But when Hopper searches the Hawkins electrical lab, it's very clearly a CIA cover. So when they find Will's body, but don't let anyone see it, Hopper punches his way in there and sees it's a fake. The kids sneak 11 into the school so she can use their powerful radio to try
completely forgot
But
that.
after
This is
school,
all
they're
season
attacked by
1?
bullies who force Mike to jump off the cliff. But 11 catches him, floats him back with their
Bro was
psychic
ready to
powers.
die.
Hey, that's my boyfriend. Lego my ego. But now the lab has found her, so 11 pulls a reverse ET and flips the fan right over them. Finally, all of our groups meet up, and the kids explain about the Upside Down. So Hopper and Joyce go to the lab, convince them to let them look for Will by venturing through the portal. We finally see the Upside Down, which is a dark, scary place full of this choking ash
You
and
see why
creepy
it went
vines
viral.
everywhere. Nancy and Jonathan realize to give him a chance, they need to distract the Demogorgon. Just then, Steve busts in. He assumed these two were hooking up. He did not expect to find an interdimensional monster coming through the ceiling. But Steve steps up, grabs the nail bat, and blam, knocks the Demogorgon
The nail bat?
into the trap where they set it on fire.
see
It's
you.
injured, but it escapes.
Worse
Just
than
then,
this-
Dr.
this
Brenner
is-
catches the kids, but they're saved by the Demogorgon busting in. And luckily, it eats Dr. Brenner first. But now it's coming for them, so 11 steps up and huge psychic blast rips this thing apart. But in the process, 11 disappears. But the adults found Will in the Upside Down, and so it's a happy ending as Will is saved. Except he coughs up a Demogorgon baby slug, so watch out for that. In season 2, things have gone back to normal in Hawkins, except Will is having flashbacks to the Upside Down. They
So
haven't figured out
wild.
how to close the portal, but for now they have it contained. And the Hawkins Lab is trying to be less evil now. They've put a good guy in charge, Dr. Owens. But they're still very much searching for 11, who no one has seen since she disappeared. Turns out that much psychic power blasted her into the Upside Down, but she was able to escape through one of the mini portals the Demogorgon made. Since then, Hopper has been hiding her, and hey, she's grown out hair. Hopper becomes a father to her. Turns out he once had a daughter who tragically died. But since the CIA is hunting for her, he never lets 11 leave the house, which
Wow,
is super
that's a
boring.
detail.
Now Dustin has found a mysterious slug creature. He feeds it the candy Three Musketeers, so names it D'Artagnan or Dart for short.
D'Artagnan.
But Will recognizes that's definitely the Demogorgon baby slug, and indeed this thing is evolving rapidly, so the boys try to kill it. But Dustin is bonded with this little guy, so he decides to
Dustin!
hide it for now. There's a new kid at Hawkins this year, the California
Oh,
Skater
she's
Girl,
so
Max.
cool.
When she beats Dustin's high score at
Max.
Dig Dug, our boys recruit her to join their crew. Max has an older brother, Billy, who is about as hot as any guy from the 80s can be. His secret is his workout routine, the cigarette bicep sesh. Unfortunately, Billy's a bad brother. He's got huge anger issues. But Billy quickly becomes the coolest guy in school, which used to be Steve Harrington. These two form a rivalry, which is wonderfully homoerotic. Nancy and Steve are still dating, but now we've got a love triangle as she spends more time with
yeah.
Jonathan. When Steve says, "I love you," Nancy doesn't say it back, so these two break up. Nancy's feeling real depressed. Yeah, they saved Will, but no one seems to care about her friend Barb, who totally died. Barb's parents hired an investigator, the
Justice for
hilarious, wacky
Barb.
conspiracy theorist Murray
Oh,
Bowman.
yeah,
So Nancy and
Murray.
Jonathan fill him in about all the supernatural stuff going on, which is even crazier than he suspected. He assumed it was just the Russians. Murray's a bit of a matchmaker,
This was
helps
a good
these two
season,
realize
too.
they're in love. So that night they do the thing where they both try to go to each other's rooms, and Nancy and Jonathan get it on. The next time Will has an upside-down vision, he encounters an enormous smoke monster. Get out of here, monster. I know you're not real. But
From the
turns
mist.
out it is real and possesses him. But for now, he's not fully possessed. He's only a little possessed. The kids realize the Demogorgon was just a minion psychically controlled by this smoke monster, which reminds them of another D&D monster. They name this thing the Mind Flayer. So Will starts compulsively drawing, and they soon realize the drawings connect into vines, just
Wow.
like the ones in
How
the
do you
Upside
know
Down.
which one
I
Now
know.
that
connects
Joyce
with
has hung
which?
them all over her house, she looks completely crazy again. Now Joyce has been dating the lovable nerd Bob Newby, and it's Bob who realizes that these vines form a map of Hawkins. So Hopper goes out digging, and sure enough, Hawkins is full of tunnels that are turning into the Upside Down. Yet the portal they thought they had contained was not contained at all. It was just growing underground. Now Dustin realizes he's made a mistake when Dart escapes and has evolved into what they call a
Come on now,
Demodog.
Dustin.
He recruits Steve to help him catch it, and these two become a hilarious duo as Steve teaches Dustin the secret of the cool hair. They lure the Demodog into a trap, but turns out it's Steve who's caught in a trap. Yes, with the portal open, Hawkins has a whole pack of Demodogs. Luckily right now they all run away because the lab is doing a full burn of the tunnel
Oh,
tentacles,
right.
which the
They're all
Mind Flayer
connected.
doesn't like one bit. The Demodogs come to attack them, and now they've gotten into the lab. It's Bob who saves the day by unlocking the doors with his super 80s hacking skills. And just as it looks like they've all made it out, he stops for a loving gaze with Joyce.
Oh,
but the
no.
Demodogs catch up to him,
Oh,
and Bob
gosh.
dies.
Oh, gosh,
11,
I remember
meanwhile, has
that.
been on a side quest searching for her mother. Long story short, Dr. Brenner stole 11 from her, then electroshocked her so she couldn't tell. 11 learns there used to be other kids in that lab and tracks one down. Yes,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
8. She and her gang give 11 a punk makeover and teach her a new word, bitchin'. And 11 loves being in a gang. She can have as many egos as she wants. But when it comes to killing people, 11 chickens out, runs back to Hawkins, and that's the last we see of 8. Now it's that time again when
Right.
all our groups finally meet up. Step 1 is depossess Will. The Mind Flayer likes it cold, so they crank up the heat and get that thing out of him. Now
Oh,
11
wow.
needs to close the portal, but it's guarded by the Demodogs. The kids make a plan to distract them, but Babysitter Steve was left behind to make sure the kids don't do anything dangerous. But long story short, they force him into it, and oh, the Demodogs are after them. So 11 goes to close the portal, but the Mind Flayer is here to defend it, and oh, epic psychic battle. But in the end, 11 wins. And luckily all the Demodogs die because they were connected to the upside-down Wi-Fi. The season ends at the school dance where Dustin has embraced the way of the hair. Max and Lucas had been flirting all season, so these two finally get together. And exciting surprise guest, 11's allowed to come out too. Good guy Dr. Owens had decided to stop chasing her and let Elle live a normal life. So it's a happy ending, except in the Upside Down, the Mind Flayer plots revenge. In season 3, our kids have grown up into teenagers, and Elle and Mike are making out all summer long, much to the dismay of her adopted father, G-Pop. Lucas and Max are happily dating, and even Dustin claims to have met a girlfriend at summer camp, Susie. She allegedly lives in Utah, so he builds a giant radio tower to talk to her, but Susie never answers, and she sounds totally fake. This just leaves Will, who's trying to wrangle his girl-crazy friends to have some actual fun playing Dungeons & Dragons. The adults have caught the love bug too. Joyce and Hopper have been kind of flirting this whole time. Also, Max's older brother Billy is the hot new lifeguard at the Hawkins pool. Mrs. Wheeler, Mike's mom, has a huge crush on him, and these two almost have a torrid affair. Thankfully, she decides to leave it as a fantasy. Now, the big excitement this summer in Hawkins is the opening of the glorious new Starcourt Mall. But Dustin overhears, coming from the mall, a mysterious transmission in Russian. So he checks in with his best friend Steve, who's working here at Scoops Ahoy, and finding out he's not as cool as he was in high school, something his new coworker Robin loves to point out. Dustin plays them the Russian message, which Robin can translate well enough to discover it's a secret code about places here in the mall. Yes, turns out the Starcourt Mall is a cover for the secret Russian base, and they've built a machine to reopen the portal to the Upside Down.
Oh my gosh, when he says it like that, it sounds so ridiculous.
And with his connection to it, Will knows he's back. Joyce starts having trouble with magnets and suspects it might be the Upside Down. When Hopper goes to investigate, he's attacked by a Russian Terminator guy. So he's like, yeah, something's up. Nancy and Jonathan got internships at the newspaper and are investigating crazed rats, which are possessed by the Mind Flayer. Now Billy ends up in the wrong place, and the Mind Flayer possesses him too. He starts kidnapping people around town and bringing them to the Mind Flayer's physical rat-made body. It's the invasion of the body snatchers, as the infection quickly spreads to people all over Hawkins. Elle soon realizes Billy's possessed, so they lock him in the sauna to get that Mind Flayer out of him. But the Mind Flayer juices him up, so it doesn't work. Steve and Dustin are trying to find the Russian base, but they realize they need someone smaller, Lucas's little sister, Erika. She's a hilarious, precocious kid who's happy to help out her country. You can't spell America without Erika. She crawls her way through the air vents and gets them into the secret garage. But this garage is an elevator that brings them all the way down to the secret Russian spy base. They interrogate Steve and Robin by giving them the truth serum, which turns out is just LSD, and these two have a great trip. Steve and Robin have become best friends, but it's not going to get romantic. Robin is into girls. Hopper confronts the corrupt mayor, and after some interrogation, finds the safe house with the Russian scientist Alexei, and he gets him out of there just ahead of the Terminator. He brings him to Murray Bauman, the one guy in town who speaks Russian. Turns out Alexei, super nice guy, who's happy to tell him everything he knows in exchange for a cherry Slurpee. But just as things are looking up, the Russian Terminator tracks him down, and Alexei dies. Now it's time for all our groups to finally meet up. Hopper goes down to the Russian base and earns his nickname, Fat Rambo. But the code to the door is the mathematical number Planck's constant, and Alexei was the only one here who knew it. And without the internet, they can't just look it up. But Dustin knows someone who knows Planck's constant. It's his girlfriend, Susie, who is totally
real MVP.
But she refuses to tell him the number until they do their couples thing. So these two sing the theme song to The Never-Ending Story. It's super adorable and hilarious considering everybody listening in actively in deadly peril. Now, Mind Flayer brings in everyone it's possessed and melts them down into a huge, gross, fleshy body. It busts into the mall. Luckily, it's the 4th of July, and our kids have a bunch of fireworks. Light this thing up. Now, 11 tries to depossess Billy. Turns out the Mind Flayer's got him trapped in all his worst memories. So 11 brings him to his happy memories, and Billy's depossessed. Now, Billy has been a pretty bad guy, but now he's ready to redeem himself. But the Mind Flayer's not going to let that happen, and Billy dies. Hopper made it to the portal and finally beats Russian Terminator by throwing him into the portal machine. But now it's going haywire, and Hopper can't make it back to safety. It's a tragic moment as he and Joyce realize to save their kids and the world, Hopper has to die. So Joyce overloads the machine. Boom! No one could survive that explosion. And the fleshy Mind Flayer dies. It was connected to the upside-down Wi-Fi. After so much trauma here in Hawkins, the Byers family is moving. And 11 is going with them. With Hopper dead, it would be awkward if her boyfriend's family adopted her. So it's tearful farewells all around as Elle and the Byers leave Hawkins. In Season 4, our kids have made it to high school now. They've leveled up their D&D game, now playing in the Hellfire Club, led by Dungeon Master Eddie Munson, the cool heavy metal nonconformist. list. For spring break, Mike flies to California to visit his girlfriend, Elle, and of course his best friend, Will, who tragically finds himself the third wheel. Nancy did not come to visit Jonathan. They'll see each other soon enough. They're going to college together in the fall. But Jonathan hasn't told her yet. He's planning to not go to college to take care of his mom and brother. Meanwhile, Steve has matured into a great guy these days, so Love Triangle is back on.
Oh,
Joyce
gosh.
gets a mysterious package from Russia with a ransom note. Pop is alive. Yes, he survived the explosion, but was picked up by the Russians and brought back to a Russian
This is
gulag. But he's
wild.
befriended a guard here, Enzo, who's willing to help him escape for the right price. So Joyce grabs Murray and brings the ransom to the smuggler, Yuri, and Enzo sets
Oh
Hopper
my
up with a daring
gosh.
snowmobile escape. Unfortunately, Yuri betrayed them, so Hopper and Enzo are now both locked up. But Murray knocks Yuri out with his karate skills, and he and Joyce manage to land in Russia. Meanwhile, back in Hawkins, the cheerleader Chrissy is being haunted by scary clocks. She goes to Eddie to buy some pot, hoping that will help.
gosh,
But back in his
forgot
trailer,
about
she
this.
goes into a trance. Chrissy,
Right.
wake up! And now she sees the source of her haunting.
Oh.
Super
Brother
creepy
died.
and guy.
Vecna.
She starts floating up in the air, and Howe is killed brutally. Eddie is suspect number
I'll show
one.
it.
Chrissy's boyfriend and the whole town assumes he killed her in a satanic Dungeons and Dragons ritual. But our crew knows he's innocent. They assume it was upside down shenanigans. What did you see? A Demogorgon? A Mind Flayer? But this was something different. It seemed like Chrissy was under a curse. So once again, they named this guy after the enemy from Dungeons and Dragons, the Dark Sorcerer Vecna. Now, Dr. Owens goes to 11 to get her help with whatever's going down in Hawkins. He brings her to the new secret psychic lab, Project Nina. And working here is Dr. Brenner. Yes, he survived. Papa, no. He claims to be a good guy now, but you know, he's not. Eleven's willing to help out, but she's got to wear the skull cap, so it's time to shave her head again. The Hawkins crew, researching Vecna, looks into the old Victor Creel murders, where he killed his old family but blamed it on a demon. They get his side of the story, and yeah, sounds like it was Vecna. He only managed to survive himself when his favorite song came on the radio and helped him break free. Max is talking to her brother Billy. She feels really guilty about his death. And turns out those negative emotions
my
are
gosh,
exactly what
this
Vecna's
was a
attracted to.
crazy
He's got her in his
episode.
mind palace. They get her headphones on just in time as, Max starts floating. The music distracts Vecna and opens a window to the outside world. So Max makes a run for it, and it's that awesome
This scene was
If
so
I
good.
could make a deal with God. Max makes it out of there, and Kate Bush is topping the charts. Now
Yeah,
11
she
is searching
is
her
after
own
that.
mind to unlock her repressed memories of a massacre at the Hawkins Lab. There was a nice orderly who worked there who was willing to help 11 escape. First, he needed her help to take out his tracking chip.
always
But
the
that
creepy
wasn't a
one.
tracking chip, it was a power suppressing chip. Yes, he's psychic too. In fact, he's number one. Turns out he was Victor Creel's son, Henry Creel, and it was he who had psychic powers and is a psychopath who killed his whole family. Now he killed all the other kids at Hawkins Lab, but 11 was strong enough, managed to push him away, and without understanding what she was doing, blasted him to the Upside Down. But the Upside Down looked different then. In fact, the Mind Flayer was just a formless cloud. Yes, it didn't possess him. He possessed it, and so he became Vecna, the true big bad of the Upside Down. So Dr. Owens is here to help, but Papa stages a coup. He's making this place evil again to study 11 as a prisoner. Unfortunately, this means killing all of her friends. Luckily, they had just ordered pizza
That
from
was a
Jonathan's new
one-shot.
stoner friend Argyle.
That was a one-shot, I
and he gets there
remember.
just in time for
Oh
a pizza
my
van getaway car.
gosh.
There's also a colonel who wants to stop all this
Oh,
paranormal
we
nonsense,
should have
wants to
reacted to
kill
that.
11 and Brenner, and Papa down. But just then, did somebody order a pizza? Yeah, pizza van is busting in, gives 11 the distraction to take down this helicopter. The Hawkins crew has discovered that whenever Vecna kills a victim, he creates a portal to the Upside Down. So they make a plan
So
to take the
badass.
fight to him. First, they need a distraction, and so it's time for Eddie Munson to put on a metal concert. Rip in Metallica in the dark dimension. The distraction works too well. All the bats attack him, and no, Eddie dies. Max is going to distract Vecna by thinking bad
Oh,
thoughts to lure him
jeez.
out, but then thinking good thoughts to hide in her good memories. But just then, Chrissy's boyfriend shows up to stop Lucas from killing Max in another satanic Dungeons and Dragons ritual. Bro, that ain't a thing. In the fight, Max's Walkman gets destroyed, so now she's defenseless against Vecna. 11's rushing over to help, but they're just too far from Hawkins. So they make a stop at Surfer Boy Pizza,
Piggyback.
which has everything they need to make her a sensory deprivation tank. So 11's able to psychically go and fight Vecna. Unfortunately, he's stronger than her, and so things are looking bleak. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
over in Russia, Murray infiltrates the Russian prison by impersonating Yuri, and long story short, they get Hopper free. And Hop's looking good these days. Been on that Russian gulag gulag diet, so it's finally time. Hopper and Joyce get it on. But now he gets a call from the good CIA who let him know their kids are in danger. So the adults are going to help from here by going back to the Russian prison where they were studying a piece of the Mind Flayer. And they've also been studying here an OG Season 1 Demogorgon. They lure this thing into a trap and hit it with the flamethrower. Since Vecna's mind is in it, that proves quite distracting. The kids get to his physical body and blast it. With everything they got, Vecna is defeated. Except, of course, not really. He survived and got away. And worse news, he had already started attacking Max, and the save came too late. No, Max dies! Luckily, she was only mostly dead, and Eleven's able to bring her back. But it only kind of works, and Max is in a coma.
I didn't like
but
that.
Vecna's counting it as a kill, and
back.
so it opens the portal. And now he's killed enough people that all his portals start expanding and meet to form a massive portal right in the center of Hawkins.
Yeah.
It's not an immediate apocalypse, and so there's time for all our different groups to finally come together. But now it starts raining the ash that is everywhere in the Upside Down. Yes, that's right. The Upside Down is coming to Hawkins. Find out how this saga ends in the final season of Stranger Things.
Okay.
Subscribe to that guy.
I know.
That was awesome.
Great job, bro.
What? I forgot so much of that.
You know what?
Wait, do you think we see 8 again?
Maybe.
Because if Vecna destroyed everybody, it's literally just 11 and 8 left. So maybe 8 is the key.
Yeah, maybe there's something with 8.
There's gotta be. I found it weird that they introduced her and then never touched her again.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, there's too much there. Potentially.
Yeah, no, it'd be interesting.
Gosh, that was wild.
But
So
that's
Max is
really
no,
weird.
no, Max is alive.
No, Max is alive. I didn't like that. I remember not liking that at the time that it aired. It's similar to my reasons of like...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like, if you're... Like, just go full on with it, right? Like, if you're gonna kill her, kill her.
I'm more of a feel-good person. I like that they brought her back.
Right, but then that also, like, it unlocked abilities in 11 that we didn't know she had.
Yeah.
And it also took away so much of the stakes of the show. Like, oh, if anybody dies, just get 11 to do that thing again.
But people have still died.
I know, but like, you know what I mean? Like that, there's always that option that they could explore. But anyway, overall, yeah. Season 1, the only, I think season 3 was probably the weakest for me, but all of them are pretty strong. Now that I'm being like reminded of what happened in each of the stories, that's really good.
Seeing it like this helps to see how they've intentionally created this timeline between like all the seasons. It's like
it feels like one story.
Each season, had its like role and lead up to what happened at the end of season 4. So like all of it was necessary, and it was cool how like the further we went along, the deeper the more we learn about the Upside Down to like see like, wow, like this is actually the root of it. And then because now we know the root, this is what's come of Hawkins.
Yeah.
And everything they've tried to do between that time, like, I guess it was helpful, but I think it just delayed what Vecna was doing.
Because I remember, like seeing it in this format is super helpful. Because I remember in real time watching it, like at the end of 2, 3, and 4, I was like, okay, I get it. Like they almost beat you and there's still a piece of you that's still alive that's gonna come back. Oh, they almost beat you again, there's still a piece of you that's alive that's gonna come back. And it just felt like, okay, they're just milking this and they don't wanna like fully, completely end this dude. But here you can kind of see like it's really one big story, and it makes sense that they haven't been able to fully close the chapter.
And Vecna is like the root cordyceps.
Yeah, and like they did a lot of damage. Like they almost got him. But I remember in that moment when they shot him out the window. Like I remember we were yelling at the screen, like finish him, like confirm the kill, make sure he's gone, like go to the window immediately, keep shooting at the body, like all those kinds of things, and they were just kind of like, right? Like things like that, but you know. But season 4, I remember, like that's the one that's the most fresh in my mind, and maybe there's some bias there in terms of why I think it's the best, but I just thought it was so cool, like, because everybody had grown up a little bit more, so it wasn't far-fetched to understand like their capabilities and like what they'd gone through, and because before it was like these elementary school kids doing these things and
It
being
just-
super brave.
Well, it just reminded me of, well, that's what a lot of these like fictional storytelling things. It's like it's a lot of kids, but it reminded me of Harry Potter. Like in my mind, thinking in the first season, I was like,
How
what
old
do
are they?
these kids think they are? I mean, it's badass.
First year,
I'm like,
how old
whoa,
are you?
that's incredible. And then I think that too, like I thought that too of Harry Potter. I was like, how old are you guys?
No, that's what I mean. Like
solving
in
these
first year,
mysteries?
how old are you in first year at Hogwarts?
10.
He fought Voldemort. Well, I guess he won against Voldemort as a newborn.
But
as well.
also, Harry Potter had information that no one else could possibly have, I think. Like, he was in a unique position to know all that. And then they are in a unique position to have 11.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like, it's unique advantages that will help them, but still.
Yeah.
At least in season 4, they had gone through these battles a few times. They're older, so it was easier for me to accept that that guy was pointing a gun at what's the character's name? I forgot his name. But like the guy who was like with Max, and they got into like a gunfight at the end of that. And like I can accept that a little bit more at this stage, and like him being able to survive that and fight him off. So that part of it was really good. But yeah, all the action was really good there. They were in the Upside Down for so long, and they were like that part of it was cool. And they were like fighting on different fronts. So in the real world, the Upside Down, and in Russia, and all at the same time. Like that part of that storytelling was so cool.
Yeah.
And using that Kate Bush song, like it got overused, but at the time it was so good.
I don't remember it. I have to listen to it again.
Once you hear it, you'll be like, oh yeah. No. But yeah, I thought that season was really good. So it'll be interesting to see how they finally wrap this up. In terms of the format, they're releasing 4 episodes on the 26th of November.
Okay.
And we're hopefully going to be doing those and releasing them on YouTube pretty soon after that. Then they're going to be doing another 3 episodes on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And then the final episode on New Year's Eve. And I think the final episode is like 2 hours.
Ooh,
Yeah,
so
kind of like the
excited.
final episode of season 4. It was long.
Ah,
So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see how that.
yeah. It'll be nice to also watch. I mean, of all the seasons, for it to be the final season, to do it on this channel, because before when we were watching this, it was like just us.
Yeah,
And we weren't really talking to anyone. I guess maybe like my cousins a
a little bit, but like no one
But
else
it'd be
was.
nice to like chat about it with you guys and see what you guys have to say and see what you guys think too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
that.
for a lot of people, this might be the first time you're seeing us on this channel, because Stranger Things might be your first introduction to what we're about and seeing what we do. But yeah, regardless, it's going to be fun just kind of interacting with new people and a new community, and it's going to be fun doing this together. So yeah, we'll be back soon with reactions to Stranger Things. It's coming at the end of the month, and then our reactions will be dropping soon after that. So hopefully you enjoyed watching this recap. All the love to Man of Recaps. Give that man a subscribe if you haven't already. He does such great work. But yeah.
And us too, if you want.
Yeah, if you want.
If you want.
For sure. But yeah, we'll see you when that comes. So hopefully you enjoy watching, and we'll see you then. Peace.